This week on Data Center News Asia, 2 new developments in the Philippines and a new cloud region from AWS. Was that better than normal? I don't know. I liked it.
Not sure really what you're going for there, but it works. It works.
I was going for a serious news anchor face. Refreshing not to have any stories from India or Japan this week. They've been dominating the news over the last few months, really, and years probably.
Well, yeah, it feels like we haven't talked about the Philippines for a while, but yeah, 2 big stories there. So which one are we starting with?
Let's go with Evolution first. I think Darren would be upset we didn't, wouldn't he? So this is Evolution and Megawide have announced their partnership for a pretty big sounding campus in Cavite. Is that correct pronunciation?
Yeah, so we announced Megawide in November, I want to say, last year, towards the end of last year. Megawide, who are part of Citicore Holdings, big conglomerates. I think at the time the story was Megawide looking to invest some of the capital they'd raised from the sale of Cebu Matacan International Airport, I think it is, and we're keen on. I know that because I was there at the same time, and like I said, that's how I nailed the pronunciation. But
yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it was good. Anyway, yes, so that was November time. They mentioned that they wanted to get involved in data centers. We speculated behind the scenes that it was with Evolution, but we did not. And we didn't actually announce that on the roundup. We didn't speculate, but that was our thoughts at the time. And it is now official. So yeah, JV with Megawide. The announcement is for the development of up to 69 megawatts in Cavite. I'm not ssure why they chose Cavite. I'm not sure why exactly they chose 69 instead of 70 or 68, but they went with 69. Brave decision. 4-hectare plot. The first development is going to be 23 megawatts, I believe, and it's due to come online 2024.
Yes, that's what I saw in the press release. So the interesting thing here, and we've seen this with some of the Philippines developments, I guess like in India where they list the customer, in the Philippines they seem to list the ownership structure. So on Megawide's press release, they said that Evolution has a 51% interest in the OpCo, and a 40% interest in the PropCo, and Megawide will own the remaining shares. So interesting to see how these deals get done. I think that's also one of the keys to getting more growth in the country is people understanding how to do business there. Yeah, a bit of potentially a coup for both sides. Evolution, obviously, up and coming developer, but Megawide, one of the biggest general contracts in the Philippines, and as you say, part of Citicore. And I read an article last month that they were planning an IPO of their renewables arm for about $1 billion this year. So whether that ties in or not to Evolution's sustainability strategy.
Yeah, so Evolution have obviously been very keen to emphasize their sustainability credentials and the transparency which is going to go behind any development like this. So the fact that they've married with Megawide and ultimately Citicore Group, I think makes a lot of sense. Citicore have got a pretty, like yourself, I was also doing a bit of research on it. They've got a pretty sizable stock of renewable assets, and then again, pretty sizable amounts of development of renewable projects in the pipeline. So I think this marries very well with Evolution's message, and looks like a very sensible partnership, and I wish both sides all the best.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're meant to be teasing future releases from both parties, but we'll let that float in the ether as
I think Evolution I think we'll be mentioning their name again in a couple of weeks, but until anything's official, we're going to not speculate. So no more speculation. Yeah, that's speculation.
Digital Edge. This has been an interesting comparison for the construction timelines, but Digital Edge has opened their site in Manila, and this is called Nara 1. And I will have the maps up for. This is a little bit north of Cavite. This is actually more central in Manila, I think, in the area.
I didn't actually check the map. Should have done. But yeah, potentially.
I did look at the maps earlier, and they will be on screen when we're publishing this. But this is a smaller site though. Yeah.
Smaller site. This is I think 10 megawatts live in the first phase. As you mentioned, partnership with Threadborne Group. Probably like a slightly different facility catering to different clients. So if anything, it's actually a complementary announcement. I think both parties will probably be happy to see each other announcing the developments and what's obviously a very busy week for the Philippines this week in terms of data centers. I think Digital Edge's play is probably more focused on the interconnection and retail. I know a lot of the management team is obviously ex-Equinix, so maybe that's kind of more their business model for this particular site, is my understanding. But again, they were keen to emphasize their sustainability, the sustainability angle to this, and the like the green element of the project. So 50% renewables by 2025.
Correct.
I think it is
carbon neutral by 2030.
Yes, PUE less than 1.2. So another world-class facility opening up in the Philippines. So again, congratulations to the Digital Edge team. They built this quickly. This was exact timelines. Like, I can't give you exact timelines, obviously, but like I think it was like within the 2-year time frame, which is now kind of the gold standard, and is some achievement in a market like the Philippines.
Oh, this is one of the few data centers that I think we reported on. We've been around long enough to have reported on the planning, the launch, the groundbreak, and now the launch. So congratulations. And yeah, the Philippines. I think this was one of the things. I don't even remember that little report on the grid that you did a while back with the ease of market entry. And one of the things highlighted on the Philippines was the access to renewable power. And this seems to be proving true with a lot of the new sites coming out, having these ties to whether it's to asset owners or to power agreements. But yeah, certainly it seems like a market where the regulatory framework is much more in place, and that's, I'm sure, going to be appealing to the hyperscalers. Yeah,
and it was quite difficult to get information on this, but President of the Philippines, Mr. Ferdinand Marcos, was talking about the need for the Philippines to kind of increase its digitalization. He was talking about data centers and fiber, etc., coming into the country. He mentioned 2 new, I think he said American, if I'm not mistaken, 2 new American developers looking at sites. I think it was the north of the city, New Clark City and Tarlac. So I'm not sure if this is new, and if he's only talking about 2 new developers looking at the Philippines, he needs to multiply by that about a factor of 5. I think there's at least 10 other operators who are looking at Philippines and looking at sites, etc. But again, just this development in the Philippines is coming all the way from the top. So I think next couple of quarters we'll be announcing a lot of new developments and exciting things happening in the Philippines.
Yeah, absolutely. And this brings Digital Edge is regional footprint up. I mean, they must be chasing some of the top players now. 16 sites, and it says 510 megawatts on the press release. I'm going to assume that that's including, fully built out on some of the big one, the India that they just announced as well. But still a very, very impressive growth for them in the last couple of years. Yeah, well,
sizable footprint. Obviously, they've got their Japan sites live, they've got the Korea sites live, they've got that India development, they've got China, they've got they're looking at Thailand, I'm forgetting a few. I'm sure they're involved in the mix up for the Singapore capacity coming online. But yeah, like it seems that we're announcing some progress from them every couple of weeks, right? So again, they are building a sizable pipeline, and they're building a lot of stuff. So it seems to all be going well for them.
And the third story for this week, relatively quiet news week, although some big stories. This is AWS. This is on the customer side, and this probably isn't news to anyone. I suspect people have been talking about this for a while, but they have officially announced that the new AZ is coming up in Malaysia, and it's 3 AZs.
Yeah, I've been talking to clients about this for months. So when I saw the press release, I was slightly surprised. I was like, oh, I thought they'd announced that a while ago. But no, they've officially announced it now. New cloud region in Malaysia. Obviously, this is going to, I believe, follow the standard pattern, 3 AZs to support a Malaysia region. I think the figure announced as part of the investment over a, I think, 25-year time horizon was $5.7 billion USD. And I think, again, in one of the press releases, the Malaysian government said it was the biggest ever tech investment into Malaysia.
To put that in context, that sounds like a crazy number, but it was only a couple of weeks ago they put another 38 billion into Virginia. So these are the kind of numbers that they're talking about over long periods of time with these cloud availability zones. And yeah, it's a sizable tech investment for Malaysia.
Yeah, absolutely. Where exactly this region is going to go and where the AZs are going to sit, I can't speculate, or can we?
I was told my speculation was wrong, because I saw on the press release that they'd listed some of the beneficiary Malaysian partner companies, including the Johor Corporation, but apparently not.
No, I don't believe it's going to Johor. I believe it's I also believe it's not going to Cyberjaya as well, which is interesting because that's obviously the hub which caters to, I suppose, KL or generally to Malaysia demand. I believe it maybe somewhere else. But interesting to keep an eye on. Obviously, a big boost. Microsoft are already there doing the self-build in Cyberjaya, and I've got two co-location with one partner across two facilities already in place. And Google have also announced, so yeah, pretty soon Malaysia will have the full complement of cloud providers there, because they already have the Chinese clouds.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations to Malaysia.
Yeah, it's another boom for the industry up there. I think, like I said, with all the announcements recently, or a lot of them have been Johor focused, but I think Johor capacity is kind of regional capacity, whereas I think this will be Malaysia capacity. So yeah, it should be a nice fill up for the industry up there and all the related industries which benefit from an announcement like this.
This sounds a lot like a trip to the Philippines is on the books. That's what I'm thinking.
Philippines or Malaysia?
Philippines. I was just thinking about these new announcements, and of course digital halos that we reported on the last couple of weeks. So yeah, it seems like a lot of capacity coming. Might have to go and check out Manila.
Okay, go for it.
Any plugs this week, or are we? That's all.
No plugs. Plug-free week. We're just reporting the news this week. We're not trying to big ourselves up or talk about how great we are. I don't think.
We'll let the comment section do that with the ghostly silence.
Yeah. Well, if you need to recruit someone, get in touch with Rhys. There we go.
Fantastic. I'll do that. All right. Well, happy Friday, everyone, and yeah, we'll see you next week. And I'm posting up. I think I've got another one of your India videos to come on Wednesday.
Okay. Nice.
Fantastic.
Thanks, everyone.